What's going on? It's your boy Jerome with the RPO College Football Podcast. You already know who I am. I just said it, Jerome. And we got the man, the myth, the legend. You already know who he is with the Eagles hat on. I'm joking. It's. I'm about to say. Ooh, I'm about to say Dallas. It's Miami. It's Miami. Mr. Ray Roberts. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Jerome. How are you?
Good man. Good man. I'm excited to be here. We're on a special night on this beautiful Saturday night. First and foremost, how it is in Jersey? Is it nice?
It's not bad. I mean, it's been fairly warm the whole winter.
Yeah,
It was a little bit chilly today, back up to 50. It's been good.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, any day over 40 this time of year is good for me. So,
yeah. It's like 70 today.
yeah,
It's down here, so
yeah.
I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm definitely happy that we have some good weather around this time, and I'm also happy that with the good weather, we got some good football stuff going on because we got Combine Week right now. So we're gonna get right into our coverage real quick. We're gonna talk a little bit about it right now, about the combine, what we've been seeing lately, and stuff like that the last few days. So you guys already know we got the linebackers and their the defensive linemen that did their workouts on Thursday. Yesterday, which was Friday, they had the DBs, and today they got the quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends. So Ray, real quick, this past 3 days, anything kind of stick out to you? Any numbers that wowed you a little bit? Anything kind of impress you?
I think that no, we saw some very good competition today with the wide receivers.
Hmm.
Quarterbacks looked really good. The top four looked well. The top three of the top four that are competing today all look good.
Hmm.
I saw a lot of good things from the wide receivers. Good times. There was one guy I'm not going to get into, Matt Landers from Arkansas, who's a 6'4.5" kid who ran a 4.39 and a 4.37. He's not on anybody's draft board right now. I mean, not too high, but numbers like that will put you on people's draft board.
Yeah,
So
they put you on the radar for sure.
yeah.
I want to shout out my guy, my Michigan guy, obviously DJ Turner, turning up, if you may say, with the 4.26, I think it was something like that.
Wow.
Fast DB right there. Also shout out to ING, former ING guy, a guy that we interviewed a few years ago, Mr. Nolan Smith with the, I think it was 4.39. It's funny because he ran at as I was at ING Academy. I was at ING Academy 2 days ago in Florida, and while I was there, he ran his 40, and I was just going around like, dude, you see this 40 time, and everybody's like, huh? Like he's running like a wide receiver out there. So he's definitely gonna be a guy that be looking. I actually just did an Eagles mock draft, and I don't want to get into mock drafts too much, but I just did the mock draft and I had Nolan Smith going to the Eagles. I don't know if it's gonna be possible now. He might not go 30. He might not go 30 right now. So we'll see though. We'll see though. It was definitely a cool little things going on right now. Obviously, some of the offensive players are still doing their drills as we speak. They was just doing the tight ends last time I looked at right before we got on. They're 40 times, so they're probably doing their drills at this point. But I love this time of year, man. Get to see some of the metrics behind the film. Again, I don't take too much out of what's going on this week. It just kind of solidify some things for me. Go back, watch some tape. Stuff like DJ Turner. Kind of want to go back. Hey, how he kind of looked with matching up with his speed. So these corners are amazing, by the way. These corners looking really, really good. I'm glad this is a year that the Eagles need a corner because this is a good year for corners.
It is. It's a very deep class this year. So I mean, yeah. Again, if you need a corner, you could probably wait even in the third, fourth round and get a really nice little player. So
100%. Speaking of deep classes, we're going to be talking about the running backs of the draft. And obviously, tomorrow, you're watching this not live. Tomorrow, which is Sunday, the running backs are going to be competing. So we're going to get a little head start on this real quick, Ray, with the running backs. And then we can kind of, on our next podcast, we can kind of recap how they did. But top five running backs in the draft. Before we start, what's your overall thought on this class, Ray?
Great class. I mean, I have like, I can go over the running back position. I have like, there literally are 20, 25 draftable running backs in this draft. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I went through every round. You could find running backs in every round in this draft. I mean, it's just
100%.
you're probably going to get a guy who's not like an unsigned free agent that turns out to be a solid player somewhere. To be honest with you, so
100%, 100% right. And this is our last list that we did, which was the quarterbacks, was very, very, very similar. I think we had the same top five with just mixing them around. I would not be surprised if our top five is different. Our number one might be the same, but I wouldn't be surprised if our top five players are completely different.
I have a feeling that we're probably close on the first two guys, and then maybe it's different after that.
Correct. So, like always, we're gonna do our top five. We're gonna start with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do it just like that. Kind of rank them bottom up. So, Ray, I'm gonna let you start us off, man. Who you got at number 5?
Well, I have I'm going to bring back a blast from the past. I have a 5A and a 5B.
I figured you did, and I copied you, man. I copied you. I had to.
And there's too many good players to not go that way, to be honest with you. So 5, I'll give you 5B first. I have Sean Tucker from Syracuse. A very nice player, compact, track star. Just a legit track athlete who happens to be a good physical running back. So I'm a big fan of Sean. So I think he's going to be. This kid's going to be taken in the 4th round, and he's going to be a good player for somebody. So I love the kid. 5A, I have Zach Carbonneau from UCLA. A guy who is a slashing type back, who again is a physical runner, who with great contact balance, good vision, nice player, plays that in that Chip Kelly's offensive scheme where Chip Kelly wants his running back to get to the block and just explode through that hole. And it's with Carbonneau, that's how he plays the game. So it's a good fit for him. So.
Definitely. I'm glad you said Sean Tucker. I got him on a list. I couldn't fit him in my top 5, unfortunately. Okay. He was close, man. He was a close one, but I'm gonna mention him later. I'm not gonna say where I got him, but we're gonna mention him later. For 5B, this is kind of a guy that I really like a lot. I've been watching him. He's been the staple of their offense for years. This guy, when he went down, their whole complete offense just fell apart about 2 years ago, and that's Devon Arcane from Texas A&M. This kid is he's a grinder, man. He gonna catch out of the backfield, got good speed, very shifty in his running. I really like him out of the backfield. Like I said, Texas A&M 2 years ago when he went down, they really struggled without him. He played probably like 90% of the offense. So he's a guy, he got a lot of tread on his tires just because of that, because he was such a vital part of their offense. But I think you can get him in, and, with the NFL now, you don't really have a number one running back that's just constantly being in the backfield. Not too much, really. You got a few here and there, like King Henry, things like that. But even him, they try to really spell him. And, I think our A-Kane, that's how I say A-Kane, sorry. A-Kane is a guy that I really like. My 5A is the same guy as yours do. Right? And that would be Zach Cabernet. Yeah, from UCLA. Same thing as you, man. I've been seeing that, I've seen actually on I'm gonna name drop Draft Network. They actually have him as the number 3 running back. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think he's really good. He transferred from Michigan. I think he's a really good running back. So don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a bad running back at by any means. But I got a couple of guys that I have a little bit ahead of him. There's reasons why, but I can't complain about any of these top. The top 8 running backs. I really can't complain about any of them because they were all really, really good. So let's get to number 4. Right, who you got?
Kendra Miller from TCU. Again, a explosive athlete with a great second gear. Once he gets in your secondary, man, you don't catch him. And he's a big kid. He's 6', 220. I mean, he can run. He's explosive. I mean, I like Kendra Miller a lot. Again, like I think if you need a running back, man, you picked a great draft to need a running back. So
I agree. I agree. Number 4, this one hurt me a little bit because I wasn't. If it was up to me, I have him either number 2, honestly, but I have him at number 4. Trying not to be too biased, but I've been talking about this guy for 4 years now. Ray already know who I'm about to talk about because I've talking about this man for 4 years. When I see him as a freshman, I was like, this kid is gonna be nice in the NFL. Got Darren Sproles type of body. Went to the same school as Darren Sproles, K-State. So Deuce Vaughn, my number 4 guy. A guy that's probably gonna be. I was struggling because we're gonna talk about sleepers and we're gonna talk about small school guys. I could have put him in any one of those categories. I wanted to put him in the top 5 because honestly, I feel like he's not getting enough love, and it is because this class is very deep, and he's a small guy. So obviously, smaller guys going to get looked over a little bit more. But the production this guy had all 4 years at K-State is unmatched. I mean, he was their offense. He can catch out of the backfield. He's very, very shifty. Like I said, he kind of reminds me of Darren Sproles. What do you think about that one, Ray?
I love Darren Sproles. I do have him as I actually have him listed as a sleeper, and it's more along the lines of again. I feel the same way about you that you do. He has day 2 tape, but he's not going to get taken until like the 4th or 5th, maybe the 5th round.
Yeah,
maybe even the 6th round, depending on what
people say. It was what I was hearing from. I think you were the one that told me that somebody had him in the 7th round. It's like. One, that'd be a steal. 2, that'd be insane if they pass up on him that much.
I don't. Again, this kid has day two easy game film, but he is only 5'5", 5'6", 175, 80 pounds. So you do have to find a role for him, but I think he'll find a role and he'll probably thrive in it. So,
dude, I love me some Deuce Vaughn. I love him so much, and yeah, especially if you can put him in an offense that you can really thrive with a running back like that. Look at the Eagles, how they use Boston Scott. I mean, I think I would love him for the Eagles, honestly. I really, really would love him on the Eagles. Replace Boston Scott. I think he's way better than Boston Scott. So
I think he's a better receiver than Boston Scott. Even though Boston Scott, man, kind of make one thing clear. Boston Scott has got a lot out of his ability, man. So I'll give him kudos, man.
No. It's not nothing against Boston Scott. Boston Scott has been a great find for the Eagles. Coming off the Saints practice squad. But, I mean, Deuce Vaughn, he's a guy that you might want to be at your number 2 because he's just that productive. And you can use him in punt returns, kick returns, all that as well. So he's very productive with that. Number 3, Ray, who you got?
I have Devon Achane from Texas A&M. I'm a big fan, and I'm a believer of the kid. I think that honestly, Jerome, I like him because he does some things for you in the return game and special teams too.
Yeah.
So I think he can help you out as a 3-down back eventually and do some things for you in the special teams right away. I mean, I love this class. I like Achane. I think, again, like you said, a couple years ago, without him in their offense was night and day. I mean, I like him, especially as a complimentary type guy right away. And then, again, somebody can help you in the return game. I would love for Miami to get him in the 3rd or 4th round if he's there. Yeah. I would, because I think he can help them in their run game. I think he kind of fits their system. And I think that he could help me out in my return game, which I need help in that even more than the running game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same with the Eagles, man. They need returners so bad. I think Eagles special teams just need to figure something out.
I'm actually looking at a mock draft right now, and they have Miami drafting Achane in the 3rd round.
Nice.
So I like Achane. Again, I had one mock draft where I had them taking Achane and Deuce Vaughn. Talk about solidifying my run game.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, man, I would love it.
That's savage thinking right there.
Oh, I love it, man.
Mike Downs would go crazy with those running backs.
Oh, my God. The versatility you can have with them 2 guys in the same backfield. Oh, my God, dude. So much fun.
Oh, yeah. My number 3 guy might surprise some people, but I watched a lot of tape on this guy. Obviously, I'm in the area, so I got to see him a little bit more than anybody else. I'm thinking Kenny McIntosh right here. I think he's a really good runner, and he's a guy that been in a rotation at Georgia. Got to see him at the Senior Bowl. Already liked him before the Senior Bowl, but really going there and being able to interview him, I love his personality, so that kind of won me over a little bit too. He got a great personality on him, good kid. Plays hard. I will say I didn't realize just watching a little tape he runs a little high sometimes, which you can't always do. You're gonna be blasted if you do that. But he's a really instinctive running back. Got good vision. I don't think he's gonna wow you with his speed tomorrow. I think he's a guy, or maybe he might be wow you speed, but he can catch out of the backfield. He didn't do a lot of it in the Senior Bowl, but he could definitely catch out of the backfield. Very confident guy. I really like Kenny McIntosh.
I mean, I'm a fan too. I mean, I like McIntosh. I think for right now, he'll come in and probably do some things for you in third down because
Mm-hmm.
he is good receiving the ball out of the backfield. He was
Right.
at Georgia.
Yeah.
He did struggle with that at the Senior Bowl for some reason, but I think it was more along the lines of not being that familiar with the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
like McIntosh again. Again, if you need a running back, this is a great draft. I can see
And
you taking like McIntosh and another guy.
oh,
You know what I mean?
and
So
yeah, and a huge thing I didn't even mention with him, he was excellent with pass protection in the Team Bowl.
he
He
is,
was
and he has good size.
very good. He was
Yeah,
doing very, very well.
yeah.
Where you had other running backs that were really good running, but they did not pass protect that well. He was probably one of the best ones there.
Talk about the other. That's where Shane scares me a little bit. I don't know what he's going to do in pass protection. I don't think a
Yeah,
whole lot.
yeah, and
Where like
NFL, especially when you're that young, you gotta pass protect. That's one of the
correct.
biggest things that coaches look for when they send their running back in. You gotta pass protect, or you're not gonna get that much playing time. It's just
Yeah.
simple as that. So
Yep.
definitely. All right, Ray. Number 2. Pretty sure I know who you got right here.
I got Jameer Gibbs from Alabama.
Same.
North fast, explosive runner, great short area quickness. We saw when he played at Georgia Tech, he looked like a really good player. Playing out in Alabama, took it to another level. I
Mhm.
mean, you kind of expected it to happen, and it did. So it's
Yeah.
always nice to think, like, to see what you expected to see on game film. He's just a difference maker going north south, man.
Mhm.
He gets that hole, man. And once he gets into the secondary, 5'11", 200 pounds of solid muscle. He's a
Definitely.
very good football player. I mean, him, him and my number one guy are probably the only two guys that will go definitely, if not day like the first day, they'll definitely go early second round. So
100%. 100%. Same. I got Jameer Gibbs as well. A guy that I really learned very fast when I came down here in Georgia. He's big name down here when he was at Georgia Tech. Transferred to Alabama. When he transferred, I was like, dude, Alabama stole something because they got a really good player out of him. I knew he was going to be a great player. A lot of people is comping him to the Saints running back. I hate when we get online. I'll always forget people's names. Um, Alvin Kamara.
yeah,
They kept comparing him to Alvin Kamara. I like that comparison. Actually, he's a really good runner. He actually runs between the tackles. Really good at the backfield. Solid guy. A guy that you can really game plan in the passing game with. So I really like him a lot with his dynamic. And right here you got at number 1.
I have Bijan Robinson, Texas. I mean,
Yes,
it's
sir.
pretty much. I mean, you will see some people that think Gibbs is better.
Hmm.
I think it's because of his explosiveness, but
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson is going to be a stud at the NFL, man, and it's just going to be that simple. He has great quickness, hits the hole and explodes like it's crazy. I mean, he's really going to be a good player, and he's going to be. I could see him. Excuse me. I could see him going anywhere from late first round to like really early second round.
Yeah.
So,
Obviously I got him at number one as well, Ray. You could see the production as a freshman when he played for Texas. You knew he was going to be a top running back in the league. He didn't disappoint. Texas tried to be a little bit more of a passing team last year, but even still, they had to revert right back to him because he was just so productive and such a good running back. I'm hearing a lot of comparisons to him and Saquon. Um, I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna look. I'm gonna put this out there. The running back combine is tomorrow. You watching this today or early tomorrow before the combine? I hope you're watching this part. I'm gonna say right now he's gonna run a 4.4. I'm pinning that down. He's gonna run a 4.4. I just dude like I see his breakaway speed, his strength, his vision, everything. I think he's a 4.4 guy, man. He's gonna blow people out the water if he actually runs tomorrow. I hope he does. I could see him running a 4.4.
yeah, I think it's funny. He had some tough games with Texas this year, but I think it's because their quarterback was not very good. And,
Yeah,
just they tried in some games tried to feed him the ball, even throwing the ball to him.
that's what I'm saying.
And that may not be his game, So I mean, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of him and Gibbs. I think both of them will be the first two running backs drafted. I'm not a fan of taking running backs too early, though. So, we'll see what happens.
I agree with it, but if you're going to take them at the end of the first, it makes sense because you get that fifth-year option. And I do like that for running backs, having that fifth-year option. So, back-ended first-round running backs, you think he's a bona fide running back like a B.J. Robinson or Gibbs, depending on your offense. I think you can take them and be happy with having that fifth-year option.
I agree with you. Would you be happy if the Eagles took him at 30?
I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, it'd be fine, right? Yeah, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think anybody who needs a running back. I mean, again, you see different scenarios where one of them two running backs go like fairly early on.
Yeah.
Like end of first round, and then the next guy goes like really early second round. I mean,
yeah.
So the one thing you always see about running backs is as soon as one's taken, they kind of fall.
Yeah. But this is the thing too, right? I've been hearing and it's mainly fans, honestly, or YouTubers that do mock drafts and stuff like that. They have B.J. Robinson going to the Eagles at 10. I'm like,
no, I've seen some drafts that have him going fairly early on too.
Yeah.
I don't know about maybe one was the Eagles, but
and not a fan, dude, because this draft is very top heavy, and I would be highly upset with that. Honestly, I really would. I'd rather not take a running back in the first round or even the second round. Really, if it's not B.J. Robinson or Gibbs that were taken at 30. I don't want to run it back that early. I'd rather get one of these other guys because they're going to be very productive. Like we're saying, this is a deep draft. I'd rather us go corner high or edge rusher high and get another corner. Like get one of these top corners, man. I
agree.
I like what I'm saying.
Jerome, say they don't re-sign Miles Sanders because we all know that's a very good possibility.
Very good possibility.
Right. So, but I would, if I were the Eagles, like you said, I would load up on like lineman. The first pick, corner.
Yeah.
And then maybe in the third round, take a Kendra Miller, Carbonell, and then they take a Deuce Vaughn in the fifth round. There's your running backs solidified.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't see the need to again with pick 30, sure. Like you said, you get the fifth year option, like you run them run them as hard as you can for 4 years, and then you make that decision. Honestly, my theory is if you draft a running back in the first round, you have 2 years to play with at the end. If he's really productive in them first 3 years, you rip up the last 2 rounds, you give him a 3-year contract extension, and then you're done with him. Then he moves on because that's different. Running backs are 5 to 7 or 8 year players, man, and they are done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And there's so many good ones nowadays because they're starting to learn how to catch out of backfield and do other things outside of just being running backs in the college football, man. You can there's no such things as like I said earlier, there's really no such things as one back systems anymore. Just you see what are you seeing what the Eagles did the last couple of years, even with a Miles Sanders that they got in the second round. It been Miles Sanders and it been Miles Sanders and Miles Sanders and like the last,
for a
you know,
couple
Miles
different
Sanders,
reasons, really, Jerome, because not only do you need that second at least or maybe third running back, Miles Sanders misses a lot of games early on.
yeah,
So you had to have that guy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and we still got Kenny G, man, and he did very
Yeah,
well.
man. You know how I feel about Gainwell. So
Yeah,
again, I
yeah,
would go there.
yeah,
Yeah, man. Worst case scenario is you have Gainwell, you draft a running back, and you see who shakes free on the free agents. So if you don't want to bring Boston Scott back again.
no, I agree.
Yeah, I just think that, like, again, I value the running back position, but it does what today's NFL. It's such a passing league, man. You have guys. One guy is a north-south runner. One guy's a pass protector. One guy's a pass catcher out of the backfield. That's just the name of the game right now.
Yeah, definitely. And like, there's so many running backs that, I'm going to talk about a couple of running backs after we get done. But before we get to that part of the session, let's talk about some of our sleeper running backs. So these are guys that are not in our top five, and there could be a slew of freaking sleepers at this point. But Ray, sleeper for you.
I'm going to give you three of them real quick, Jerome. I'm not going to go crazy into them. I got Tank Bigsby from Auburn. Again, a nice north-south, 6 foot, 215-pound guy who's a good speed power combination. I got Israel. I hate this name. Abanikanda from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Again, a nice, good physical running back with the ability to get it once he gets in the secondary to knock guys over, and is a nice little football player. Pittsburgh runs the ball, and Israel is a very good football player. And I do saw him because of all the reasons we talked about him. He shouldn't be a sleeper running back, but he is because of where people have him projected to be drafted.
Yeah, 100%. And my sleeper is the guy that you had in your top five, Ray. It's Sean Tucker. Yeah. Sean Tucker from Syracuse, man. I actually wanted to put him in my top five so bad. Like if you were to say, hey, Jerome, let's just do a 5-5C, I was like, all right, Tucker would have been in there.
And you know what? You know why I would do that to Jerome? I would put, like, even though Deuce Vaughn has more game film and has been a more consistent player than Sean Tucker, he has been. But if you look at it, Sean Tucker's more likely that first and second down running back, where Deuce Vaughn will be that third down back, especially early on. So that's why, even though I think their game film is very competitive, man, Deuce Vaughn is a stud. He is, man. For what he is, his body type, the kid's a stud. But I do think where Tucker, Carbonneau, Miller, even a Shane would be like two down backs, and Deuce Vaughn now would be that third down back.
Yeah. But the only thing about Deuce, and I said this earlier too, is that one, he do have the production, but also like we said earlier, he has more to his game that you can work with outside of just being a running back. He does. Be a receiver, he can be a returner, he can, all that, special teams, whatever. So I think he's a good guy that you can really use in different type of levels, and if you really want to, you can scheme around him. So he's a good player. I really like him. Sean is a little bit more your traditional type of running back. It's not that he can't catch out of the backfield or whatever, but he's not really good at it. He's solid at it, and then really good runner.
And the other thing about Sean Tucker is he's a really good blocker.
Yeah, he is.
I went and seen him play this year against Notre Dame. I saw him taking on Isaiah Foskey and kind of hold his own. And Foskey's a player, and he did a nice job with Foskey. So I think people will be surprised. Again, a 5'10", 210-pound guy who's very compact, man. And great running back class. It's funny because we talk about this all the time. When I was a kid, running back was the big position in the NFL, and it just isn't anymore. So it is what it is.
No, 100%, 100%. All right, let's get to our next category, which is going to be small school running backs. Right, who you got here?
I have Tajay Spear from Tulane.
Nice.
This kid is
I
going
think
to
I mentioned him
be.
later.
I love him. I have Miami drafting him every mock draft I can because I think he's going to be a kid that's going to fall under the radar and people are not going to know how good he is until he gets in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I have Honey Lupiki from North Dakota State. Again,
Nice.
a 6 foot, 235-pound kid who is not going to do anything in the passing game,
Mm.
and he's not going to. So you're not going to see him run really good speed, but from getting from point A to point B, he's very good at that. So
Definitely. Yeah, Tajay Spears got to talk to him at the Senior Bowl. Love it. Not only on the field, but I love his personality. He's another guy that got a really good personality on him. I could tell he's one of those cheerful locker room guys that you're gonna love him in your locker room. Like he's a cool guy. So I really like Tajay Spears as a person as well as a player. And it's not, can't say this with everybody, but you could tell right off the bat with certain players that they
plus
really character guys.
he was coming into the season coming off an injury-filled season the year before and averaged almost 7 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Usually, a guy misses a season, he has to get his feet back under him. This kid didn't miss a beat, and I mean, I love his game film, man. He's really, I think he's as underrated as any player maybe next to Deuce Vaughn, maybe more underrated than any running back in college football.
Definitely. No, I agree. I agree. All right, my next small school guy is a guy that went to the East West Shrine game, balled out over there, then flew in halfway to go to the Senior Bowl. First day on practice looked amazing. Like he didn't skip a beat. Like he was always there the whole entire week. Played very well in practice, and it carried over to the game. I wish it was talked about a little bit more. Obviously, there's a rotation, especially at running back. There's such a rotation that you don't get to see everybody's, production. But like in practice, day one and on, he just blew my mind and really put him on my radar. And that's going to be Sir Roderick Thompson from Texas A&M. This guy was nowhere on my radar until I see him at the Senior Bowl. So I'm going to be completely honest with that. But he impressed me so much. Like I had to watch some tape on it. And I was like, yo, this guy is actually really good. Like he can pass protect, he can catch out of backfield, he can run. He could do all those things, man. He's a guy you could tell he's a worker. You can tell he's a worker. And I was extremely impressed seeing him at the Senior Bowl this year.
I mean, all the talk we've done, Jerome, and I'm like looking at the list. Like, I see Chase Brown from Illinois. I see Eric Ray from Oklahoma. I see Roscoe Johnson from Texas. I see Chris Rodriguez from Kentucky. These guys are going to play in the NFL, man.
Oh yeah,
and there's nowhere to put them.
Chris Rodriguez, Eric Gray,
it's just
Muhammad. How you say his name? Muhammad.
I'm not sure. Abraham.
Yeah, from Minnesota, guy that
it's just crazy. I mean, like, it's really when you look at it, how many guys like. We always talk about how undervalued the running back position is, and it is, but you do need to have good, solid players back there. You know what it is? What running backs is, it's as much as any other position, it's scheme specific.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy fits my scheme, I'll get something out of him, and if he doesn't, I may not. So,
100%. No, I agree, and a guy that we didn't even get to mention that I want to mention right now too is Cameron Peoples. I was actually struggling with him as my small school guy because he's a beast too, man. Got to interview him as well. So
App State kid, man, good player.
Yeah,
just again, it's just amazing. Yeah, it really is.
This might be one of the best running back classes in a while, man. Like this class is really, really deep, really deep.
It really is. It's like it's really, again, it's funny. Like Miami, here's the other thing about the Eagles not drafting. The Eagles don't draft running backs in the first round.
You don't.
They don't. Miami don't draft running backs in the first round. So
Yeah.
anybody that ever projects Miami, like one of them teams are going to, they're not going to. I mean, like the Eagles are going to take. I can almost guarantee they're going to take a corner and they're going to take some kind of alignment because that's what they do.
Right. I don't know if you've seen my latest mock draft that I did the Eagles. I had them taking Christian Gonzalez, which every time I'm doing mock draft, he's always going to the Eagles just because he's always there.
Mm-hmm.
And I had at the end of the first. Now again, I don't know if you're gonna get him, but I had Nolan Smith. I would die if you got the combination in the first round.
Wow,
I would die. I would have a heart attack.
Like that's the other thing, though, Jerome. Like you have the 10th pick in the draft. The cornerback class is so deep. You're going to get a good player, man.
Oh yeah.
You're going to get if you get Foster or Gonzalez. You're good, man. Their guys are going to be players, dude. I don't care what anybody tries to tell me, dude. I don't understand. Like, it's going to be funny. I mean, I see some people. Do you like Cam Smith as a top 20 player, though?
So, all right. Will he go top 20? Not likely. I don't think so. He could, but there's so many good players at the top right now, and there's going to be such a logjam at quarterback. It's going to be hard to actually get him in that high. I could see him definitely going in the first round though. He's a top 20 guy. If that's your top 20 guy.
Not to go back too far, like quarterback. If you're the Bears, do you draft a quarterback?
Bears quarter?
Yeah. Ooh, okay. All right.
The only way I do that if I'm trading what's his name and getting compensation and then doing that and then trying to double up on my picks with maybe a high guy or something like that. Like, let's say the Colts was like, hey, we'll just take your first round pick. We give you ours and another and you can somehow trade what's his name or something. I don't know how that scenario worked.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I hear a lot of buzz, and I know like people keep. I get asked this like every time I see people that are like Bears fans, or people that are like football draft guys a little bit, or guys just because they know how much I like it, they'll like just start asking me. And like, you've been hearing a lot of talk about how much the Bears lost C.J. Stroud, and maybe there'll be one. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Stroud too. You know I do, Jerome.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm the Bears, I'm trading down to
4.
I'm going to target the Colts. I'm going to convince them that C.J. Stroud, and because I have a good quarterback, I don't want C.J. Stroud. But if they want him, or if they want a Bryce Young, we need to work out some kind of a trade.
And that's what I mean. If the Colts be like, all right, we'd rather have a guy that we know in the NFL already that done some stuff. Let's go get Fields and go trade up for that number 1 overall pick trade your 4th overall pick for Fields. I'm on game because then you can get your quarterback and you can possibly still get Will Anderson or Carter if you can't get. You can get either one of them with the 4th overall.
Well, if you trade down the 4,
for me, it would be like
you traded 4. You could take. If you want to take Miles Anderson, if you think, or Miles Murphy, you think he's the guy, that's fine. If you want to take Paris Johnson because you want to draft an offensive tackle, which is probably your biggest need. If you decide, we can take a Jalen Carter there because he's going to be that good in the interior of our defensive line, I just don't know if you. I don't want to take quarterback. I don't want to get into a cycle of taking a quarterback every year. I just don't. I don't see where that's good because as soon as you do that, you've decreased the value of your quarterback.
No, 100%. And the fact that like, let's all be real. Going into last year, we wasn't sure about Jalen Hurts.
No.
I was even like, dude, we got extra pick next year. That's fine because now we can really evaluate Jalen Hurts. Like nobody was 100% sold on Jalen Hurts last year.
No.
Look where he went with his production. So
And that's the
I'm not just saying Justin Fields is Jalen Hurts, but you've seen a glimpse from Justin Fields. I would put as much as I can in front of him, like the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts, and then be like, all right, we gave you everything you need. Here it is, right here, right in front of your face. There you go. You got your offensive line, you got your running backs, and you got your wide receivers. Now it's on you to level up. And if you don't do that, then all right, we know what we gotta do now. But I just feel like you can't just be like, let's get another quarterback when you got so many other holes still too.
And you know what, Jerome? I've always, and I am a guy I know that we used to always kind of joke about. Ohio State quarterbacks don't always turn out to be really great players. But Justin Fields, I think, is going to be a good player. I do. I mean, honestly, people are going to think this is crazy. I would rather go with Justin Fields right now with what I don't know than go with Lamar Jackson with what I do know.
Wow. I mean, Lamar Jackson, you have to have a specific game plan for him. You have to have a specific playbook for him.
You mean on offense, right? You don't mean on defense. Because on defense, I just mush rush him and I'll keep him in the pocket. He can't beat me from there. I'm good.
Oh, no. I'm talking about as a coordinator.
As an offensive coordinator. I got you.
You have to have a specific type of offense.
You do.
Him.
I mean, I think like you heard a lot of when the Eagles played Chicago this year. Mm-hmm. You heard a lot about how they were going to copy what the Eagles were doing because they saw similarities between their quarterback and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I honestly think Justin Fields has a stronger arm than Jalen Hurts, though. I do. I don't know if he's as accurate because I haven't seen him do that yet. But I know he didn't have a good offensive line last year and nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
So what were you going to see out of him as a passing player? I think that there's enough upside with Justin Fields that I think that I know he has a strong arm. Is your accuracy there right now? I don't know that, but I know running the ball, he can make plays for me running the ball. I know Lamar Jackson can do that too, but I know he can't beat me throwing the ball, and I'm not sure Justin Fields can or not, to be honest with you.
I'm not getting slightly off the topic with this, but I still can't get over the fact that the Bears give up the 32nd overall pick for Claypool. There you go. I don't know what I was trying to say. Claypool.
That was a stupid pick. That was a stupid trade. Claypool was a good third receiver on a good team, is what he is. That's what he is, dude. If he's your second receiver and you have a really good number one, he's fine.
This is talking from a Notre Dame fan. So
it's true. Claypool was really productive his first year because he played with a really good veteran quarterback that got him the ball really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his game. Once you get him in space, he's a playmaker. Yeah. Or if you let him – the other thing is for a guy who has really good speed, he doesn't always track the ball that well.
Yeah, you don't.
So, again, I know what he is. Mm-hmm. I know he's an explosive player with the ball in his hands. But you got to find different ways to get the ball in his hands.
I mean, dude,
when he played
the Eagles, they literally game plan for to get him the ball in his hands.
That was his game, and of course Roethlisberger, that was his game too. Big Ben was not the playmaker later on. He had to get the ball out of his hands because even though he was still hard to tackle, he was a lot easier to get to later in his career.
Yeah, definitely. We just went on a little bit of NFL tangent just now, but man,
it's draft time, man. So you're going to expect a little bit of that. We're going to evaluating college players is also evaluating maybe what some of the team needs are.
Exactly.
And I think the Bears are in a good situation with Justin Fields. And if you got to stay there and take Will Anderson, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right? It's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing at all.
I mean, okay. I'd rather move down to 4 or 5, get an offensive lineman. Maybe I can get a Miles Murphy later on or Jalen Carter. I'm fine with that too.
Right. That might be your best bet though, right? You might I would if I was the Bears. My quarterback talk will be I would be telling everybody I want a quarterback.
Yes, that's what I told everybody.
Everybody want a quarterback.
That's what I was going to get to. Whenever anybody asks me, well, what do I think about them? I'm like, that's smoke.
Yeah,
That's the Bears putting that
I
out
would
there.
leak as
That's
much quarterback
absolutely.
stuff as
We're
possible.
absolutely considering taking CJ Stroud without a
I
doubt.
would, I would be like, hey,
Absolutely.
Justin, hey, Justin, just let you
Right.
know, it's not true. Just
But no, I would do that too.
you know what?
My GM, my
You know,
coach, my quarterback would all be in the room. We're like, yo, man, you're going to hear that we're willing to move you and move on. That's not the case, man.
hey,
What
hey,
we're
hey,
doing, dude, is putting players around you.
hey, Justin, we're gonna throw you some money on the side. Just letting you
Yeah.
know, we're gonna throw some smoke real quick.
Yep.
Don't take offense. Don't take offense.
That's all, man.
Oh yeah, we want a quarterback. We want a quarterback. Hey,
Yep.
coach. Hey,
Yep.
coach.
Absolutely.
Andy.
Absolutely. Yep. Yo, anybody, yo, Baltimore, yo, Indianapolis, yo, Detroit, yo, Las Vegas, yo, Carolina, yo, Atlanta. Anybody who needs a quarterback, yo, Tennessee, we're definitely thinking about taking a quarterback here.
Right, I think Colts would be so ideal because you could still probably get like Will Anderson at that spot.
You may get Will Anderson at that spot. You're absolutely right. I think Arizona would take him at that point. I think
because all right, if the Colts jump up, it's going to be a run of quarterbacks at that point, and you're going to be only at 4. You only got 3 other. All right, Colts trade up, they're not getting anything else but a quarterback. So that's
the Colts
two other positions,
and then
and the Texans are like 95% going to get a quarterback too.
They're going to take quarterback. The only player I think Arizona could wind up taking Bryce Anderson.
And if you're close on Jalen Carter and Will Anderson, I would take that gamble and be like, yo, Colts, what's up? What's up?
Yes.
What you want for us?
Yes.
We might take
worst case scenario is somebody moves ahead of you and Anderson and Carter are both gone. Mm-hmm. And then you take Paris Johnson.
Yeah.
You get that's really covers every base.
And that'd be great.
And here's another thing you could do. You actually could trade with somebody else with Oakland. Maybe the Raiders want to get their quarterback, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, and they trade you for the 4th pick. You get 7, you still get Paris Johnson, and you get more picks.
Right, dude. Y'all didn't even realize how many teams need quarterbacks, man.
Oh, there's a lot.
There's a lot of.
I mean, you could argue. Of course, the Texans, the Colts. You could argue Seattle. Detroit will consider taking quarterback. The Raiders will absolutely. Carolina, even Tennessee could consider taking a quarterback. They probably wouldn't because they have Tannehill. They owe a lot of money to, and he did draft a guy last year with some talent.
Malik
Willis, Malik Willis, who didn't show anything, but wasn't put in a great situation. But anyway, the Jets they're not going to, but they could consider taking quarterback unless they get a free agent by them, which they probably will.
I'm hearing some rumblings that they might be going big at their quarterback position. Big like double A Rod. Like a double A Rod.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, you know what? If he thought he was in the darkness last month, wait till he gets to New York.
Y'all see what hat he got on, right? That's crazy, right?
It'd be great. Wait till he realizes, yo, this is not Green Bay's media. Wow. That's gonna be great.
But right, you know who's a dark horse team that for some reason nobody's really talking about it for whatever reason?
Who's that?
The Bucs need a quarterback.
No. They need a quarterback, but I don't know who's gonna. I don't know. It's funny because I would not be surprised if I were Aaron Rodgers. I would go there before I would go to New York.
I mean, yeah, they got the talent there. They got the receivers.
They don't have. I think the Jets may. Here's the thing: they have more veteran talent, where the Jets have more young talent.
Young talent. Yep.
Okay, so if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'd rather go to a veteran team. Tampa Bay, no taxes, blah, blah, blah. I get every dime of my money. Even if I don't win, I get every dime of my money. If I go to New York and I don't do things well, You can't tell the New York media to relax.
Yeah.
It's not Green Bay. They're going to tell you, no, you relax, brother. We need to win.
And listen, I just told you, I just came back from Tampa 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It's beautiful down there. We went down there and it instantly became 88 degrees. We was like, what the hell? It just snuck up on it. It is.
You know what? Here's a stat for people they don't know. Do you know that 40% of all NFL players live in Florida somewhere?
Really?
40% of the whole league.
That's crazy, but I get it.
No taxes.
I hear a lot about it.
Beautiful all year round.
Yep.
No taxes. No taxes.
There's another reason, but I'm not gonna say. But anyway.
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but yo, man. Especially if I'm an older guy, I worry about two things. Well, for me, I would worry about if I could win. I would. How much money am I making?
Yeah.
Everything else is irrelevant.
Yeah.
I'm a quarterback, man. It's like when everybody's like, when I was talking to people about Tom Brady, oh, he's going through a tough divorce. He's Tom Brady, man.
Yeah.
Shake the tree. 5 hot girls will fall out of it. You'll be all right. Okay. Come on.
But the thing too, like I felt like with the Aaron Rodgers, you wouldn't kind of win now too. You want to get that.
You would. And you literally go from probably the greatest NFL quarterback, or at least one of the greatest, to maybe one of the most gifted NFL quarterbacks. And really, if you can shore up your defense a little bit and get better offensive line play and draft a running back that can actually play and not get 3.5 yards a carry, maybe you can find yourself back. You'll be at least in a good spot to win your division, if nothing else.
No, I agree. Man, it's gonna be a fun.
It's great, man.
Fun off season. We got 2 weeks into the free agency. Combine's wrapping up now.
And then 30 days, then like 40 days, 38 days until the draft.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Then in June, Ryan's expecting his next baby.
Oh, I forgot about that, man. You're gonna have a great summer.
I'm flirting, man. I'm good.
That's awesome, man. But that's gonna do it for us today, man. Ray, you got a rant today?
I do. It's going to follow up on what I was talking about earlier. I listen to a lot of podcasts, mostly Miami Dolphins related. Some Notre Dame, a lot of Notre Dame also, but a lot when it comes to the NFL, most of it's Miami Dolphins stuff. But I listen to everybody, and I keep hearing about Lamar Jackson should be paid. And I was listening to a guy named Omar Kelly who tried to convince everybody.
Oh, your boy Omar.
That guy's an idiot. He was trying to convince everybody that Lamar Jackson should be paid the kind of money that Deshaun Watson is being paid. Okay, well, I'm going to say this. I don't like Deshaun Watson. I don't like how he carries himself. He's an extremely talented player. I'm not ever going to say otherwise, but I do think that when you're an NFL quarterback, you should carry yourself with a little bit of more respect than he does. But as a player, if you tell me that Lamar Jackson needs to be paid as much money as Deshaun Watson, you are an idiot. Because you can say all you want about Deshaun Watson. I've seen Deshaun Watson beat teams from the pocket. I still have yet to see Lamar Jackson do that. Lamar Jackson has never won a playoff game.
No, he hasn't.
So in a league where quarterbacks are usually paid or not paid according to how they respond in the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you pay him like he's a top 5 quarterback?
Well, you gotta think Dak Prescott too.
Well, because Dallas, just because Dallas made a mistake doesn't mean I had to make that same mistake. Did I tell you that even though I think he's a good, Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Did I not tell you when Dallas paid that to him, if they paid him max money, that it was a mistake?
Yeah, you did.
It's a mistake. You need to negotiate with these guys, and you need to like, yo, man, Baltimore needs to re-sign Lamar Jackson, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't. They do. They put him in this position where I'm paying him $35 million a year, guaranteed money, and that's it. And if he doesn't take it, I'm moving on.
Isn't that what they initially offered him?
I think it is.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think it is. No, I heard 25 to 30.
All I know is the Eagles need to pay Jalen Hurts before anybody else. Just pay him right now.
Like, I'll be honest with you, I would offer Jalen Hurts the same amount of money. I would offer him $30 to $35 million a year, and just you do it to him and explain to you, yo, man, some people are going to tell you we're being disrespectful. We're not, Jalen. We're trying to compensate you for being a really good football player and maintain a salary cap where we can put other good players around you.
100%.
And don't get me wrong, I'll pay you $35 million a year. I'll give you shitloads of money and bonus money. Down the road, if you win us a couple Super Bowls, we will do right by you. We're the Philadelphia Eagles, man. We pay our guys. That's the other thing you have in your back pocket.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we pay our guys. So we're going to pay you, but we're not going to pay you $45 to $50 million a year and blow away our salary cap. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We love you and respect you, but you have to love the Philadelphia Eagles and your teammates and understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
the reason why I'm saying that is, man, you got Jalen Hurts, you got Lamar Jackson waiting there, you got Justin Herbert about to get his probably this year or maybe sometime. Who was the other one?
You know I love Justin Herbert. He's another one though, man. I'm offering him 35 to maybe 40 million, and that's it, dude.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I'm not giving anybody just giving a quarterback $50 million a year is craziness.
It's crazy.
It's just crazy, man. Like you got guys like everybody who re-signed has to be the highest paid guy. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I agree.
Why can't okay, who's the best quarterback in football right now? Patrick Mahomes. What's he making?
Well, I know his deal was 100 million or 500 million. Sorry.
Right.
So that was over 10 years.
I think now when you look at it, it's like between $33 and $35 million a year. Yeah. So to be honest with you, everybody deserves less than that.
I agree. Until you prove otherwise.
Yo, man, Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league. You hear a report now, he didn't play with an upper sprained ankle, a dislocated ankle. He played in the Super Bowl, and he refused to be taken out of the game. And he's as talented as any quarterback in the league. He's the best player in football, is what he is, dude.
I don't want to go on Patrick Mahomes rant, so I'm just gonna leave that alone because I have some conspiracies about that, man.
What are you conspiracies? Well, can I hear one?
How does man come back in a game and run the way he was? Like, I understand still playing in the game, but he was running very well in the second half after that.
He's a freak athlete, man. That's what he is.
Those drugs, man. Anyway.
No, man. What do you mean drugs? Like somebody shot up his ankle with cortisone? Okay. No. There are also people saying they should look into that and investigate that, because if that happened, then Kansas City, yo, man, there's a thing. You need to check this out for them. There's a thing where every team, their medical staff is evaluated. Kansas City came in 32nd, but they won the Super Bowl. There are players on the team that flat out say they don't trust their medical staff. So they always get second and third evaluations. But they won the Super Bowl. So no one cares. Funny how that is. Meanwhile, every other player that gets hurt in the league should retire because they're endangering themselves. But Patrick Mahomes played with a dislocated ankle, and there's no doubt that his ankle got shot with cortisone. He wouldn't have played. But we won't investigate that because they won the Super Bowl. And it's Andy Reid, the best coach in football now.
Yeah. There's no way you're running that well Hey, this man had no type of showing of a limp at all. Like,
people always talk about, and this is what frustrates me as an old person, and I'll be honest, I'm an old person. I hear all this stuff about, oh, this person is this and this person is that. This country has always only cared about money and winning. So why do we pretend like that's not all we care about?
No, you're right. You're definitely right. Well,
I mean,
we're gonna end on that note.
okay, I'll end it with this.
Okay.
George Washington was the founder of the country, right? He fought to his death because he wanted to be a free man, without a doubt. He also fought to his death because he was the richest person in the country and had the most to lose if he lost.
True.
That's a fact.
That's funny. But that's gonna do it for us today, guys. We got a little history lesson from Ray Roberts today. But thank you guys for checking us out. This is the RPO College Football Podcast, man. Check us out next week. We should be back on Wednesday. We're gonna do tight ends next Wednesday. So we're gonna evaluate the guys that are playing right. Well, I think it's probably about over right now. But
I might have a little affection and connection for the number one tight end in this class. So,
spoiler.
There you go.
But thank you guys. That's definitely going to check us out next week because I think our tight end list might be a little bit different too. I think it's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, because I will. I think the top three guys are pretty good players, and then after that, it kind of gets a little bit shaky.
Yeah. But you gotta check us out next week. So if you want to check us out next week and you want to watch us live, where you can put your live comment in right under Ray, right over there, have that little QR code. Make sure you hit that QR code. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and especially our YouTube channel where we're live on right now. Hit the like and subscribe button. It definitely supports us and helps us out. We are dropping interviews, so a whole bunch of our Senior Bowl interviews will be on our YouTube channel as well. So make sure you go check that out as well. We do appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll see you next week, man. Y'all have a good one. Y'all stay safe and enjoy some football, man. Go Eagles. Peace.